Hey, welcome back to yet another episode of Wario Land 3. So, in the last episode, we got some flippers that helps us swim against the current whenever there's some water levels. So, there's one more level that we can use the current in right now, or the flippers in, and that's in N4. Now, I want to address something. We have 66 treasures. God, I don't even know my own thing. And there's one more music box to collect. Now, I actually could finish the game in 5 treasures. We're actually really close to the end, strictly in terms of story progress. See, there's 48 mandatory treasures in the game, and by my count, we have 43 of them. And that's according to my notes as well. It's possible there could be some mistake somewhere in there. The rest of this is going to be a lot of side quests. In fact, we're actually about to start a side quest in just a second, once we get this first treasure. And the structure of this video is going to be a little strange, because after that side quest is done, which won't take too long, we're then going to start immediately into another. I mean, considering how few treasures left there are in the game, it kind of makes sense that I really need to, like, head into side quests. So, let's see, we get this, these vines here. Now, I should mention here that the hitbox on Wario is a bit strange. You sort of got to get used to it here. Yep. Wow, he went far down there. Oh yeah, he could just fall down straight up. I think if you sort of line yourself up with like the middle of Wario's body, you should be okay. Or like I guess his like the white part in his shirt around like his arms. I guess that could work. Okay, a little lower than that, I suppose. Yeah, if you just go like that, you could fall off. There's a hidden music coin there. There's an accidental music coin right there. Now, if all else fails, there are ways to essentially skip little portions of this area. That guy is a bit troublesome. Okay, alright. We got a little bit of a checkpoint here. Okay. We can do a little skip if we're precise. Again, it's not super strict. Wario is a fairly forgiving hitbox in that respect. It just might look a little weird or off-center or something. Really, he just looks bigger than he really is. Okay, we got the key. Now, there's a ceiling over us, so we can't just go up high as possible. We get stopped at the ceiling. So it's already time for our next boss, actually. So this current right here, I'd love to get through it, but it is actually too strong. Like, the flippers won't even get us that far. It almost looks possible, but I don't know. Maybe someone can show me if that's actually possible. I don't think it is, though. So we have our next boss. I like to call it the mouse fish. Kind of looks like a dog, too. So you don't want to get stuck in the water, because if you do, he tries to bite you, and if he does, he spits you out of the boss room. Pretty standard stuff. The homie dragonfly right here, helping us a lot. I should also mention these homie flies or whatever, the cheese. Cheese has to be at a particular angle in front of him, like, even if he kind of collides with it, he doesn't always, like, eat it. He has to, like, see it first in his, like, line of sight, and then go for it. See? Like, kind of went right through him. But this should work okay. Oh, no. Ah, got him. That should be good. There you go. He blocks off the current with his now fat body for eating 3 pieces of cheese. I mean, I guess they were large, like, not just slices, but like giant chunks. But still, though. We gave him dietary problems. That's just mean. We can't even go this way because he's stuck there. Poor guy. And in this chest, we get something that the game just refers to as a statue. Kind of looks like a little guy in a mage hat or a witch's hat or whatever. I don't like the name statue, but you know what he does? He helps construct ladders. So I've officially called him the Ladderman. He's like my little son. We love him. We love the Ladderman. He makes ladders. Okay, I mean, I guess they're technically more like chain link fences, but god damn it, he's the Ladderman to me. And, yeah, with that, it seems like we need to start yet another side quest. I've officially called it the Ladderman side quest. So, we start off with the, going into N5 here. Now this one, I think you have to make sure to go in during the nighttime. So luckily we got that part. We gotta go in that door, but first, we gotta get the green key. And it's up here. Yeah, it's a little kind of tight to get there because the spring doesn't have a lot of horizontal mobility. Now make sure you're tapping slightly to the left after you're right aligned here. So it goes like that. So now I think we've seen this room before, but we couldn't go through it. Now that we can break those blocks, we can grab the key. Alright. There we go. Oh, you know what? I wanted to also mention something real quick here. Before we do that, if we go into an earlier door, you'll notice these blocks that we can actually break. However, if we keep going far enough, there are these breakable blocks on both sides. We can't do anything with those in the water. In fact, we never can for the rest of the game. So you might wonder how those get broken. Well, we'll come back to that. In fact, within this video, we will come back to it. So the Ladderman has made this chain link fence, the ladder, pretty high. Now, getting to this door here is part of our priority, and we could climb all the way around. However, the door platform extends just far enough that we could do a little bit of cheese. If you go right here, just about between the 4th and 5th spike, so right in the middle, and then just get hit. You go right through them. Probably my favorite little cheese in the game. I don't know, there's a few of them. These birds can be a little annoying. There's one particularly later that's a bit of a pain to deal with. Alright. Okay. Still love the coast music. We're just about there. Got a lot of climbing. Now, pay attention to those two bird placements. This one is pretty obvious to deal with. This guy might come in and blindside you. Anyway, we got them all. And what do we get for our troubles? Why, of course, I'm a big fan of the fan blade. And with that, things start to move. Now, I want to point out, we actually end up having to go through West 4 twice this video, and I'm kind of glad. This level has a lot of, like, cramped design right here, along with the polar bears are just really obnoxious. So, very glad we get to finish out this level in this episode. Oh, it's this door, I think. Let me make sure. Oh, there is no door. Hold on, is it here? It is not here. And that is a little annoying, because now I have to, I must go in this room, press this switch. You know what? There's an easier way. Yeah, so I went the wrong way, and because it's a one-way, I kind of got a little backtracking to do. Not the biggest deal, though. Anyway, we're dealing with this door right here. You might have remembered this when we got our red key quite a while back. Hey, there it is. Okay, that's, of course, not our focus here. Well, shit. You know what? It is far easier for me to just return to the map at this point. That was a disaster. At least we got the creepy music. I do like that. Creepy music is pretty dope. But yeah, I think now the switches will, by default, be in a favorable position. Yes. Okay, good. Just didn't want to have to make like a whole trip around. So here's the fan blade. What do we gotta do with it? Well, let's first turn it on. And this will be where we get our blue chest here. Now, yeah, we are skipping the green chest for now. We'll come back to it. This guy. So there's a bunch of throw blocks here to get the key. And, of course, we need something to throw it at. We can't actually take this guy through the fan stream here. Wario will just drop him. So we gotta be pretty strategic about how we bring this guy up. Make sure to sort of hit this guy a little on the right so he falls on the left. Now again, we can't do that, so we got a bit of a tricky throw. There we go. Whee! Okay, once again, we're gonna jump on the right side of this guy. There we go. Good enough. Good. And there we go. Nice and relatively easy once we got the switches in the right space. That's another thing about this level that kind of bugs me. the whole switch placement just kind of gets prominent throughout the level. We have what almost seems to be like some kind of plant, some kind of vegetable. Well, it is a sprout of some kind. And remember those octopussies? They're no longer pussies. And so, hilariously, we go right back to North 5 as one of our treasures here. So we just got here, we're going right back. So, you might remember those blocks that I said we couldn't do anything about because they were underwater. I hope you would remember. That wasn't too long ago. Please consider getting checked out if you don't remember that. Or maybe you weren't paying attention, in which case that's a little more acceptable. They're just gone now. Although, presumably, I guess the octopussies dealt with them. Now, getting hit by one of these octopuses is really funny. I hesitate to say octopi because I've actually heard that that's not even the correct, way to say it. I just love that, I don't know, animation of Wario. Look at him, he's like, oh! Like, dude, it really hurt. Quickly get this key right here. Now, that's funny. If you remember the position of that key, let me go around here. We gotta get to the door. Gets us towards the chest. So, this is actually right under the key, and you could just barely touch it like this and still stay under the platform, which is pretty fun. So, in case you go the right way on, by accident at first, never fear. These guys right here, let's try to avoid them. If you get fat, you sink all the way to the bottom of the water slowly. So thankfully you don't have to run around and shit to, lose weight. And we get, I swear this looks like some kind of, monster claw. I feel like I've seen something very similar to this in a previous episode. This is apparently just called, a green gem. I have to really look at it the wrong way to see it like that, but you do you, man. Anyway, the other place where the octopussies are grown up now is West 5. We'll notice here, one of these guys broke through. Good for him, man. It's kind of weird that it all just happens off-screen, but I guess that's not unusual for this game. Obviously, cartridge limitations, it might be a bit difficult to show that. But even things like, the bombs, they just exploded off-screen. Also, fuck you. This is a pretty tight section here. Although I think you could actually avoid the... Oh, wait, actually, you're above them. Yeah. Alright, we gotta be very careful around here. So there's two bubble generators here. Does the one on the right just not go off? I don't know. I'm not complaining, though. Now that we got the key, what else do we do? Go back to that central hub area. Right in the middle with all the zip lines. Maybe it is this way, actually. I accidentally fell off, but yeah, this is the right way. So, this wall right here can't be broken normally, but it can be broken with the string shot. It's not really obvious or anything, there's obviously no tells, but I guess with the one enemy in the room, you could probably get that with a little bit of trial and error. We get something interesting right here. Some kind of red test tube chemical. What is this chemical used for? Well, we're actually not going to know for quite a while. But we are done the side quest, so put up that little banner. And I guess it's time to just continue back a little on the main path. S3 is the next thing that the Ladderman unlocked. We gotta go through the gauntlet again. And unfortunately, this is not the last time we're gonna go in S3 in this video. But, fortunately, that will be the last... Like, we're finishing it off in this episode. Which, I actually like S3 a lot. I will say, though, that going back-to-back in a lot of these rooms can be pretty tedious. Just because of the structure and how linear it is. Overall, though, I do like Tower of Revival. I think it's a cool level. Here's something interesting. I didn't actually know this for the longest time. The boiler makes a little animation when you ground pound it. So we're actually going pretty high up in the Tower of Revival. I think it's up here. Yeah. Here we go. Now these apple guys, you really gotta dodge them. Although one of them, if I stand right here, there we go. Perfect. Ooh, mid-air jump. Nice. Actually didn't realize that for a little while, that you do get, like, I don't know, a little frame window to do a mid-air jump once you break those blocks. Anyway, now this guy is going to be a lot more of a nuisance. Actually, I don't even need to... I can just go this way, now that I have the key. Now, this could be kind of annoying, because, like, these guys can just pop out of the wall as you're, like, climbing over their hitbox. And I think they can just bump you off the climbing animation. It's really annoying when that happens. Yeah. See, I just wanted to show that off. It's, a little annoying, but at least I think it looks like it's kind of forgiving. Like, it gives you a decent amount of time to just, you know, get out of the way. You're not gonna get me. Alright. There we go. And yeah. We're really high up in this tower. Thank you, Ladderman, for your contribution. And we get a map. Not like the West map. This one gets you to a completely new space. The East Crater. So we've now unlocked E6. And still no E5. Which is pretty funny. The East Crater. This has the very aggressive, almost kind of scary music that builds up. We actually start already with like a little bit of an annoying gauntlet. So these guys that prick you, they continuously respawn, and I need to bring this barrel over here. If they touch me while I have the barrel, they just knocked the barrel out of my hands, and I gotta go do it all over again. You could sort of keep where their spawn point was on screen so they don't respawn like this. You can also kind of lure them into a place where you can kill them. Now, when you're dealing with this, I recommend getting really close, doing a little jump, and then throwing. You might wonder why not just destroy all the blocks. Well... Uh-oh. That's why. Gives yourself a little bit of a safety net, just in case. Alright, let's lure this guy. Ah. Yeah, that happens. Alright, nice. Yeah, here's where the music just really builds up. So, real quick here, if we go up this ladder, this long-ass Snake Eater ladder, we got a gray key over there. And it's gonna take a little while. We're gonna keep doing this over and over again. A little silly, if you ask me. I think that's high enough. Yeah. Now, if I move over a little to the right and back, the guy respawns. I think a little more. There we go. Yeah. So, it turns out there's actually another big frog on the other side of him. And there's really nothing we can do to get around that guy. We need to kill him somehow. Turns out that when you're on fire, and specifically when you're, like, in the flaming animation, when you're, like, walking around as a big fire guy, so not this part, but after you start burning more, you can actually kill the frogs, along with a lot of enemies. So we gotta hurry. It's a little fast, actually, so it's not that bad. And there we go. And we actually get the last upgrade of the game, at least movement upgrade. The gold glove, or gauntlet, or whatever you would call it. The gold gauntlets. It's Ocarina of Time. So this actually allows us to pick up those larger enemies, the ones that, you know, we could just bump into, unlike the smaller ones which we could pick up for the longest time. This includes those guys with the like spring hammers that could, like, you know, turn you into Spring Wario. The polar bears, and of course, like, those guys there. I think there might be one or two other examples I can't think of. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that opens up. Although, we do have the one that we want, and that's over here in W4. Thankfully, we are finishing W4. It has been a little bit of an annoying journey in this level, but we are finally almost through. Now, what do we do with the gold gloves? We take a polar bear. I think this, yeah, this is why these guys are, like, the worst. I'll just take this one. Gonna move them over here. Toss them over here. Now this grate here, he can shoot through. And so we can kill that frog right there. Self-imposed damage to get through there. I like it. I'm sure this game has had several instances of that. Really just the transformations as a whole kind of do that. You might have noticed that guy bounced off of something, but there were no other blocks. I only can assume that he bounced off the edge of the screen. This is going to be quite a while. Unfortunately, W4 does not end with a bang, with a bit of a whimper. I mean, it's a big spectacle. I remember this room very well. It's just kind of annoying. That key, so we can't just dash into these blocks off of a ladder. And currently it's being blocked off by these blocks right here. Every time I hit a switch, these entire, like, jumble of blocks, they go downward. The problem is, I can't hit a switch, because then these ones will go down, like the ones just above me here on the tracks. And then these donut blocks will block the way. So we gotta get rid of them. We essentially need to make like 2 entire trips here. Actually, did I hit that switch twice? I think I did. Alright. Now, while I was practicing, I actually, I kind of missed a jump and essentially had to do this stage again. Or if you like, do this section again. This part's kind of fun, though. Oh, shit. Well, it would have been fun. Can you see the problem? Vote now. Well, don't really vote, I guess. Not really voting on a problem. Yeah, I kind of need to do that first. Now I gotta go get burned. Okay, there we go. I was worried I was gonna fall off. Luckily, we do have the ladder here as the shortcut if we want to go back there. So now the platforms here are up, which would be nice. We could deal with this donut block. Now, when you're dealing with this block, go all the way to the right. Ah, there we go. Just deal with them. So, a little bit of a round trip we gotta make here. Going back here again. And this isn't even the last time we have to do it, unfortunately. Again, conceptually, this is a pretty decent idea. It's just, you know, in practice it involves a lot of back and forth. But again, at least there are little shortcuts we've unlocked to the switches. Anyway. Now we just gotta get to the chest. Oh, actually, no. First, we gotta get to the key itself. Well, I just blundered. Once again, this confusing layout has done some annoying shit. Yeah, I think I gotta go back in here and flip the switch again. Unfortunately, this is, you know... Oh my god. Okay, that was kind of cool, actually. This episode has been a little all over the place. But hey. That does tend to happen. Alright, sounds awesome. So we got the key. Well, now all the blocks are in a bad position. So we gotta start all the way from the beginning here. That's one. Fortunately, there's no shortcuts for this one. You gotta do it every single time. Oh, come on. That's two. Okay, I almost fell. Yeah, when you jump and throw an enemy, your vertical momentum gets completely cut. So, just be warned, I guess. That's three. And, yeah, we're good. Now we just just turn into Bat Wario. Gotta dodge some of the water droplets. Get hit by this one. And there we go. Now, if you remember quite a while back, I got a yellow eye. This is the second yellow eye. We're finally following up on that. And what happens? Well, we get the other snake door that was in Tower of Revival. You might not have seen it, because I didn't really show it. It was actually in that, like, the section we went to earlier. It was just over on the left. But hey, now we got there. And we can now begin what is the longest side quest in the game, to my count. This is the Yellow Eyes side quest. So yeah, we gotta have one more run through Tower of Revival. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, no, I fucked this one up. Yeah, this can always happen, unfortunately. Alright, we got it. So back to the gauntlet. So it ain't this snake door that opened. It's further in. This really does have the semblance of, like, a final, like, gauntlet-type level. Multiple floors with different challenges, with, like, different abilities that you go through. Kind of surprised it wasn't. So we gotta head on over to this right here, and this was the other snake door. And it just opened. Now here's an interesting thing going on here. This guy is repeatedly dropping this this block here. Now, while you're on a ladder, if this guy drops it, it shakes you off, and you, like, fall quite a bit. So they give you these little safety holes. You know what? Coming in at nighttime was kind of not really smart, because I didn't plan it, but it was fortunate. That guy right there, you see he was, like, sleeping at first. If he's awake, he'll come at you right here at the edge of the ladder, and you gotta kind of get a little lucky, or, like, kind of finagle around him. It's doable, it's just annoying. I'm actually gonna start right away by going over here, grabbing the blue key, and of course, got a bit of backtracking. Gotta do it again. Not too bad, though. If you jump right as the block hits the ground, you can give yourself a little more time. Not having to watch, like, the, oh no, I lost my footing animation. We're gonna want to flatten ourselves here. Boop. Of course, now that I'm flat, he just decides, you know what, now I can stop. Now that I've inconvenienced this man, I can now stop my escapades. He can shoot through blocks. I didn't even know this. But yeah, this polar bear, we're gonna have to deal with him in a second. Notice how that coin was floating there? That's because this kind of, like, less prominent platform there. Things that aren't Wario stand on it, whereas Wario goes through it. So, like, enemies, and I guess coins, and, like, other kind of objects. That's actually going to be a little relevant here. So I have these throw blocks I gotta break using the polar bear. You might have seen the string shot block at the very bottom. Now, if I just try to, throw this guy down, he stands up on it. But, for whatever reason, I guess the rules apply a little differently. If Wario's holding him, he passes through just fine. Anyway. You kind of have to bring him down here because you bounce off too many walls if he's, like, higher up. And then, like, you won't, like, this thing only bounces off of 5 walls before it, like, gives up. So, you gotta bring him all the way down here. And with that, Tower of Revival is finished, and we get a key! Which, really, every kind of progression item, even like a side quest, is kind of a key of some kind. This one's very blatantly just a key. And what does this item unlock? Well, it unlocks what is essentially one of the final levels of the game. In fact, I think this is the second last level that we have access to. This is S6, Above the Clouds. Now, this level is pretty interesting. You'll notice the clouds here on a cycle. This is actually a very open-ended... Not open-ended, what's the word? I think it's just open area. Now, you'll notice little things like that, how it was like 2 clouds in the same cycle in a row. I think that this level is pretty cool aesthetically, and conceptually there's some interesting stuff going on. It unfortunately suffers from a bit of screen crunch. It's not always easy to see what's going on around you. So for example here, I noticed that the door and this platform are on the same cycle. So unfortunately, this level is difficult maybe for the wrong reasons. Even if it does have some really cool stuff, it's kind of hard to react to the first time. You essentially have to do a bit of trial and error. You pound in the ground to get these guys away. A little helpful here. Ah. Oh, I got kind of lucky there. I also think the music is kind of funny here. I think this is unique to this level, or at least we haven't seen it yet. Oh, God. That was kind of close. Luckily, this platform is not on a cycle. But this one is... Oh, actually, we can just fall here. The music is kind of funny here, although I definitely prefer the nighttime music, which we're actually going to see in just a second. Because real quick, we gotta get this chest, and, surprise, surprise, it's the green crayon. It's okay. It's okay. We only have one more crayon to work with after this. Now, I actually want to go right back in there to get the other, like, one more item from this for the video. But we gotta show off the new colors. See the green forest and grass and shit? That's nice. Anyway, the nighttime music. It's very spacey kind of sounding. Ah. Ah. Shit. Kind of reminds me of, like, the Mario Land 2 space music. Although, I mean, it's slower. I think just more the instrumentation. I could listen to that later and be like, what the fuck was I on? Ah, this is a safe platform. Ooh, this is a bit tricky. Yeah. Ah. Yeah, so the openness of this level definitely can be tricky, and it's a little bit of getting over it coded, where once you fall pretty far. At least there's no ceiling right here. Alright. Now we do a big jump up here, and we're on to the next screen. Now, this is actually one of the more annoying chests to get in the game because of the enemy placement. So, I'm glad I'm getting this out of the way at the end of the video here, instead of just stopping here and going, you know, starting this on the next video. So if we enter this right here, we see the key. Now, there's actually a door to the left in the last room that takes us on this side of the wall, but this block right here would prevent us from making progress. So, we gotta jump on this guy to break a block, and then backtrack. I'm telling you, man. A lot of backtracky stuff. Anyway, let's enter this door. And this is where the annoyance kind of starts to begin. These guys that, like, slice you up in half, the animation is so long, it disorients the shit out of you. This guy right here in particular is so annoying. Because you start bouncing on the guy I'm, you know, currently bullying right now. And then the guy above you is just like, haha, here's my chance. And then he just, like, fucks you up. Oh, you know what? I just realized I still made a mistake here. Because I can't break these blocks. This is way too cramped of a space to, like, pick this guy up. So I need to go back in the other door and use one of the other guys for that. See, that's, to be fair, that's poor planning on my part. I remember in practice I actually did that first. You know, I thought of that first, so... I don't know. There we go. Okay. Ah. Anyway, yeah, the nighttime music in this stage is definitely better than the daytime one. And guess what? We made a loop. Now we gotta go all the way back again. Yeah, not a big fan of this one. Also, the enemies are just so fucking annoying. I guess it is fitting for, like, one of the last levels in the game. But this is not a particularly nice level. Yeah, this is especially this part right here that I mentioned. Oh! 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 No! I hate it. I hate every part of this. Oh! I never thought to do that! Oh my god. Yes. Alright. That's a trick. Just pound the ground real quick in that platform. Anyway, the final treasure of this video. It's been going on for like 50 minutes now. A little longer than I usually go, but not by that much. We got a fire extinguisher. A pretty non-fantasy item. Not that a lot of them are. We got like dynamite before, but... This will put out a few flames in a couple stages. Most notably, the West Crater. And if you'd expect it, the East Crater. Oh my god. It's like they're connected or something. And anyway, yeah. I guess with Wario floating in the sky up here, we have 77 treasures. Let me make sure that that number is actually correct. 77, yeah. So we collected 11 now. I think I'm gonna collect another 11 in the next episode, because that will finish off the side quest. anyway, I know that a lot of these videos are coming out pretty quickly. The Pokédex stuff and this kind of throwing a lot together at once. I don't want to come off as a bit disingenuous, but I do think that like getting this project, you know, getting more stuff underway is a plus. And I really hope you guys enjoy watching this. So I guess next time we'll finish off whatever's left of the side quest, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching.